Hello and welcome to Law and Order Episode 2 this July 23rd, 2020 out of Los Angeles, California. My name is Scott Dutra. I'm the host with attorneys Z Liu and Abraham Odabachian. Attorney Liu has dealt with many cases involving China-U.S. relations in terms of their business relations, immigration relations, and the American-Chinese relationship often affects the way he deals with those cases. And Attorney Abraham is the most famous Armenian in the Chinese community, amongst the Chinese community. And today we come here to talk about the U.S. Chinese relationship that has, newly deteriorated. Donald Trump has ordered the embassy closed in Houston. We also have just heard about a problem where the Chinese government is hiding a fugitive in the San Francisco embassy. So we sit here today to talk to them about what they think about the relationship, where the U.S.-Chinese relationship is headed, and what this means for the American people, the Chinese people, and everyone involved. So, hello guys, welcome to the show.
Great to be here.
Yeah, so, we have a few good questions for you guys because we think, you're uniquely qualified to handle these sort of questions considering all the legal issues you handle that deal with, U.S. Chinese laws. So the first question we have, everyone wants to know is, for you, David, why would Donald Trump do this in the first place?
Well, timing is very suspicious for the things that just happened. On one hand, I can understand that, in the past probably year or so, U.S.-China relations have been going downhill, but to some degree, I can understand why he wanted to close down Chinese consulate in Houston. But the fact that he wanted the Chinese consulate to be closed, people to clear out within 72 hours, it seemed to me the move was more symbolic than substantive, because the reasons the state government gave was that there was alleged trade secrets misappropriation. Basically, they were saying that Chinese consulate in Houston engaged in spying activities. So as we all know, for most of the countries, especially for very big and powerful countries such as U.S., China, it's not uncommon to send spies, overseas, right? As the saying goes, all is fair in love and war, right? So meaning that anything goes. So the rules are, there's no rules, But the thing though is that since the spying thing has been going on in both U.S. and China for so long, especially we know that not very long ago there was this CIA agent, and he actually became a double agent while he was doing his spy thing in China, but later he got caught and he was arrested at LAX when he was entering the customs. Because, as the complaint indicates that because of him, that a lot of U.S. Spies or U.S. assets in China were exposed. So he later he was convicted of espionage, and he was sent to federal prison, I think for a very long time, at least 20 years. So meaning that actually the spy thing is being ongoing for a very long time on both sides. Why not? The question is simple. Why not? Timing wise, why not? Why all of a sudden it's like, you're doing spying stuff, in the U.S. How could you have done that? I think because the election is coming up. It's very simple. Election is coming up. It's about timing. So by closing down Chinese consulate in Houston, especially they have to clear out within 72 hours. I think that the president, Donald Trump, wants to send a message that he's taking a very tough stand on U.S. China relations. Consequently, I think that will be beneficial for his re-election campaign. For one, for two though is that with what's going on in the States, especially coronavirus has researched. Seems like everybody's on his case. Like everybody, thinks that he has done a very bad job containing the virus. To a certain degree, I think that it's true because when the whole thing was happening, he kept on saying everything's under control. Everything's under control, but the numbers don't lie. The numbers kept on going up. So I think that by doing this, by making this dramatic move, closing down China consulate in Houston, he has successfully switched the public attention from him doing a bad job containing coronavirus to U.S. China relations.
Yeah.
So I think overall it serves the ultimate goal to be re-elected as the President of the United States. So in essence, I think that he's closing down Chinese consulate is more of a political move to serve the goal of his re-election than anything else.
Yeah.
I'm gonna also have the most famous Armenian person in Chinese community in the States answer that question as well when we get a different perspective.
My perspective on this issue is similar yet a little different. Again, that's true. We do have the elections coming. In 2016, when President Trump ran his campaign, he had the motto, America first. And what that meant was we have to start building things here in America, making things here in America, bring back the factories from China. And he started coining China as the currency manipulator. And there were the issues with the trade secrets. They've been there all along. And then we have coming Hong Kong, COVID, everything's blowing up, and now we have this new election cycle. So I think the timing for President Trump was just ripe. The elections are coming up, and the people are going to ask him, okay, in 2016 when you ran, you called China a currency manipulator, people we have a big trade deficit with them. What did you do? Well, he's going to say, who took a harder stance on China than I did? I ordered that their place be shut. His Secretary of State Department ordered that the place be shut within 72 hours. And this is, like Attorney Liu was saying, it's a powerful country. China's a big country. To order a country like China to close down their embassy within 72 hours is crazy. That's very, like nowadays, for tenants to evict their apartments takes a longer time. They get more notice, right?
Yeah.
But in this case, the Chinese government got 72 hours to leave. And the spokesperson for the State Department, by the name of Morgan Artagas, and I quote him, he said, this is pretty much showing them the, quote, violations that the Chinese People's Republic of China will stop the violations of sovereignty and intimidation of our people. Now, that's a very open statement. I guess in their context, having the Chinese embassy in Houston, which they allege, the Houston one was shut down because they were taking intellectual property from the Texas A&M Medical School, Medical University, and the University of Texas Medical University as well. And again, Texas is a pretty heavily impacted area as far as the COVID. So that's what my position is. This is a very critical time for President Trump. He has Joe Biden as his contender, who's going on the motto that Trump is the first American racist president, coining the COVID, the China virus, and now ordering that China close down their embassy. So, like Attorney Liu said, I agree. It's the timing for President Trump is very ripe on this issue.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see that Donald Trump has continually, throughout his presidency and now entering this campaign, said that he wants to take a tough stand on China. And as soon as he starts closing the embassies, the newsreels are pretty much only talking about that, shying away from the coronavirus now. So it does seem to be really good timing for him to do something like this that he's always promised. Anyways, so do you guys think more embassies are going to close? Which ones are next? What's your guys' opinion on that?
Well, I doubt more embassies or more consulates will be closed. I think that by closing down one consulate, he has achieved the goal, which is to show the general public in America that he is taking a very tough stand on Chinese government, you know, and I think that fits into his showman style. You know, after all, he had a reality TV show, right? Apprentice.
Yeah.
So frankly, I don't.
Fired.
He really cares about U.S. China relations, or not. He truly understands U.S. China relations.
Yeah.
I think he, after all, he is a business person. You know, all he sees that if it's a good deal or it's a bad deal. You know, by pulling a stunt like that, I think halfway he has succeeded. But you know, although re-elections are coming up, but I think we still have a few months to go. Whether or not things will change, I think they remain to be seen. Yeah.
That's right. As far as more embassy closures, the U.S. has 6 embassies in China, and based on my research, China has about 5 embassies in the States. Houston was, by the way, the first one established 1979. Then we have one in Los Angeles, in Chicago, in New York, and another in Washington. And obviously now the Houston one's closed. Will be 72 hours, maybe some hours left, but it will be shutting down based on that order. We have no news about China taking such action yet. However, the Chinese government did come out with a very stark statement opposing the U.S. decision. Now, will China do the same? I guess we have yet to see.
Yeah. Well, after all, I think that it's not only in the best interest of China, but it's also in the best interest of the U.S. to continue a healthy and mutually beneficial relationship, as opposed to boycotting each other.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know, so what I'm trying to say to everybody that's watching is that let's make love, not war.